This is my unboxing for Ivy Kids for October 2015, and this is a subscription box for kids 3 to 8, and it is $38.95 a month, and it is packed with activities. You can also add on a sibling pack for $5, and then you'll get a few more projects so 2 children can share this box. So this is how the box comes. Alright, so inside the lid there's a little sticker here, and it has pictures of all the activities in the box. And one cool thing about this box is every box comes with a book, and then all the activities are based around that book. So there's also 2 personalized items, or 1 personalized item in each box. If you do the sibling pack, you'll get 2, 1 for each child. This is the sibling pack, so there's a few extra, I think, goodies in here for 2 kids to share. So this one is for my son Lucas, and then they made an error because my other son is not William, but you know, Tyler won't really care. If you want to save 20% off, use the code IVY20 at checkout and you'll save 20% on your subscription. The book this month is Make Way for Ducklings by Margaret McCloskey, and I think we actually have this book. Pretty sure we do, but it's a really cool book. I know my kids, I've read it to my kids before, so we could have checked it out at the library, but it's a really neat book. And there's also a bookmark, and the bookmark has questions to facilitate learning with your son or daughter, and you can ask them different questions based on the book just to help them remember what happened and kind of think about different parts of the story. So I'm going to go through this box. There's a ton of stuff in here. Alright, so I'm just going to start opening things and going through and seeing what's in here. So this is an example of the instruction sheet that's going to come with each project. It's going to tell you the materials provided, how to play, a little Ivy tip, and junior Ivy tip. And this is kind of broken down for older and younger kids in that 3 to 8 years old bracket. Then there's questions to scaffold learning, and then learning goals and developing skills. So I'm not going to go through all of this for everyone because, again, there's so much stuff, it's going to take too long. But it looks like this is a game with a nest, and you put all the eggs in the middle, and then you take turns rolling the dice to see how many eggs you get to put in your nest. And when all the eggs have been collected, the player to collect the most eggs wins. You can also do this with the little ducks in the box as well, and put the ducks in the nest. So here's the ducks and the die. Here's the white pom-poms, which are the eggs. There's 2 bird nests. And that is it for the first activity. Alright, so this pack has a sticker, and it says contains extra materials for siblings. Alright, so the first project is to paint your own duck. And so in here, there are 2 little rubber ducks, 2 containers of paint, and 2 paint brushes. The next project is feather painting. And you can use the different paints to paint colorful patterns on the feathers. So here is the package of feathers. And let's see. The next one is feather observation. And it says you'll need the mallard duck feathers and the feather information sheet. So I'm not sure where the information sheet is. Oh, here we go. There we go. Here's the mallard duck feather information sheet. Tells you all about mallard ducks and their feathers. And then here are the mallard duck feathers. So it says spread out the mallard duck feathers. Use your sense of touch and of sight to carefully examine the feathers. So that is the next project. Alright, here's the next packet. Alright, there is a board game. This game is called Make Way for the Ducklings. You're going to need the board game, the ducks, and the dice. And it says that each person selects a little duck, and you also place name labels on the ducklings before using them as pawns. I don't know if those are in here. I don't see name labels, so maybe you just write them on the bottom. And it says they take turns rolling the dice and moving their ducks along the path. Watch out for bikes, cars, and traffic. If a duckling lands on something dangerous, the player must move the duckling backward. If the duckling lands on something helpful, like the police officer or a swan boat, the player can move the duckling ahead 1 space. And whoever gets to the pond first wins. Alright, and then the next one is called Duck Race. And you're gonna need this Duck Race board, the spinner, and the ducklings, which again are right here. And it says to start, the player places a duckling on each of the nests. So right down there. And the player spins the spinner to find out which duckling will move ahead. Only the duckling whose shape the spinner lands on gets to move ahead 1 space. The player continues spinning the spinner and moving the ducklings on the different paths until one duckling has reached the park pond. Which duckling will win the race to the pond? Place the name labels on the ducklings before using them as pawns. This will help distinguish them from one another. So if you play with more than one player, you can just divide the board. So player 1 uses these 4 nests, and the player 2 uses those 4 nests. That's cute. The next packet has another sticker for siblings, so there's extra materials for siblings in this pack. All right, this one is a drawing activity. You're gonna need the Duck Facts board, just there. And you're gonna need the body part board of a duck. And then you're gonna need charcoal sticks, a blow-up duck, and the just draw page. So there's 2 of these just draw pages. There's 1 little blow-up duck. And then in here are 4 charcoal sticks that your child can use to draw. And using the model duck and the little information guides, your child can draw their own little mallard duck. And older kids can label the body parts. The next one is my favorite part of Make Way for Ducklings and you can draw a picture and write a little sentence about it. My son does these kinds of things in kindergarten. And also you can use the charcoal sticks or crayons to draw and write on the papers. And the last activity is just using the mallard duck fact sheets and the blow up mallard and just going over those fact sheets and looking at the duck. You can talk about the different parts of this duck and what your child sees and that kind of thing. And I can also play pretend with the little duck. All right, here's the last set of activities. We have 8 ducklings. So here are the stickers. And here are the little ducklings. And it says, in the story Make Way for Ducklings, the ducklings are named Jack, Cack, Lack, Mack, Knack, Whack, Pack, and Quack. So then you label each of the ducklings. In the story, the ducklings were always lined up behind their mother in alphabetical order. And then once each of the ducklings has a name label, try to line your ducklings up in alphabetical order just like the story. The 8 ducklings along with the paintable white rubber duck can be used to retell the story for pretend play. Cute. Then we have the ducks walk to the public garden. So we have a map of Boston. And then here are some real photos of the Boston Public Garden. And it says on the map of Boston, the path that the ducks take to walk from the Charles River to the Boston Public Garden has been outlined in red. You can see that. Trace the path with your finger. As you and your child read Make Way for Ducklings, point out the streets and locations mentioned in the story on the map and on the photo board. Your child will love to see real photos of the park, ducks, and swan boat. There's also a website here for more photos of Boston and the public garden. There's like a little map hunt too that your child can do as well. Then the last one is a map of the United States. It says, place the map flat on a table or hang on the wall. Label the Mallard family home state and your own home state. You can label a state that you would like to visit or a state that you've already visited. So those are still on the card sticker sheet here. It says, I live here, I've been here, want to visit Mallard's family home. All right, and that is everything in the box. So as you can see, there is a ton of activities in here for your child. It will last well within a month. And I actually received the the October and November's boxes pretty close together, so I'm not sure if I'll get to complete these activities for my written review, but I will do an overview of all the activities. And stay tuned for the November box because I also have that I am working on. So this is a really fun subscription. If you have multiple kids, it's a great value subscription because you can just buy one subscription and you have enough activities for both kids to do. And like I said, it'll last you, a good month. So, unless you're a blogger and try to get all this done in a short period of time, you're gonna have plenty of activities for your child to do over the course of the month that you have this box. I think it's a great box. It's a great tool for helping kids learn, and it's also fun. So if you're interested in subscribing, the links below, you can check out the written review at the link attached to this video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.